Hello and welcome to episode 2 of ADHD, My Sister and Me, where sisters Nic and Kim chat about living with ADHD and neurodiversity and the challenges they face. They share the practices, techniques and hacks that help them through life. This is not to be taken as professional or medical advice. It's just two sisters chewing the fat and trying to make the world a better place. Episode 2, ADHD, Life Hacks and Me. Hello and welcome to our second episode of ADHD, My Sister and Me. Hello from me.
Hello.
From her. So, first of all, we ought to say happy Burns Night to all our Scottish friends as it's the 25th of January. Shout out to Trish and Karen and all our other lovely Scottish friends. And also happy full wolf moon. And seeing as I am half woman, half wolf, it's, very special to me and might explain my peculiar behaviour this week. Anyway, Kimberly, how has your week been?
My week has been actually really good. I'm very, very tired. But Jack, my youngest, has started a new alternative provision this week. So it's AP. Alternative provision, and it's what the local authority provides for children when they can't manage to be in school either full-time or at all. And I just can't believe how quickly he has settled in, because he has real attachment issues to me, and I think I to him as well. I'm very nervous leaving him. But he's gone into this space and he was nervous at first. We went in last week for the first time, and then over the weekend his behaviour went a little bit strange, and I could tell he was perhaps a little bit overwhelmed. He woke up and he had these marks on his neck. I don't know if I told you, Nick. Did I? Yeah. He'd been bit by a vampire in the night. And it was all fine, it was fun. But then he started to not be able to be in the daylight, and it all went a bit far in the end. And in the end I had to say, look, Jack, this is going a bit too far, because he wouldn't open his blinds. He was almost having a meltdown. And I thought, okay, no, this isn't just imaginative play. This is him trying to cope with the change. And then, yeah, he got very upset. And then he said, I took it too far, mummy. I was just trying to create a different life. Bless his heart. So I was a little bit apprehensive on Monday when we went back to the AP. But he's just settled in so well. He's gone in and he's done stop motion. Do you know that? So Wallace and Gromit, how they make the animations, they do it by taking pictures and they're moving a little bit. And
oh yeah.
So he's made all these. They're really good, these videos, and I think he feels comfortable. And he's finally found some kind of educational environment where he's like, yeah, I can get on board with this. And he's played a new game today with the people who work there. So yeah, I'm rallying him round. Not rallying, shuttling him sort of to and from. And it's just been quite mentally tiring with it. It's been a big change in our lives, but it's really, really positive. So I'm feeling really I'm really happy for him, because he's just loving it.
Oh,
Amazing.
That is amazing. Yeah, what a lovely positive week, if exhausting.
Yeah. Oh. How are you?
Well, I've just really weird week. I guess it's just been hard. It's been one of those weeks where I would have probably described in the past as wading through treacle, just trying to get bits done and not really getting anywhere. But then when I actually look back over the week, we've had some pretty heavy stuff going on with hospital appointments and things, and appointments with school Senkos. So actually, there has been a lot on this week. So really, it's no surprise that I found it tough. And yeah, just obviously you can see I'm not as hyper as last week, and just very, very tired. And but one of the lovely things I've been doing, and my friend asked me to do some terrariums for her, if I've pronounced that right, because I love my indoor plants, and like the little glass bowls. And so I did 3 of those for her. And now I've completely hyper focused on terrariums when I should be doing other things, and just been, making some lovely little Buddha Zen gardens and things. I will show you for those on YouTube. And you can see this is I don't know if you can see that, my little Buddha Zen garden. That was a glass bowl of my nan's that I wasn't ever really sure what to do with. So there we go. And that's what I've been up to, and obviously doing lots of work in between that. But yeah, finding it very, very tiring. Yeah.
Well, you're coming down to see us in a couple of weeks for half term, and I've got, actually it's the glass round bowl,
my wedding bowl.
I'm thinking maybe you want to make a terrarium in that.
Absolutely. We're literally thinking the same thing. So yeah, I'll do that for you in half term. Very excited about that and seeing you all.
Maybe sort out a few of my drawers as well.
Absolutely. Yeah. Always. That's one of my favourite things to do. I know that sounds very strange to most people, but I just love sorting and organising, and it is my happy place, rather than doing important admin and bills and things that I should be doing. I would rather be sorting out, neatly folding my knickknacks and putting them away, and just doing lovely things like that. So it's probably, bearing in mind how overwhelming I found it this week, probably one of our first life hacks ties in quite neatly with that. And it's to do with overwhelm and thoughts. And people with ADHD can have a crazy amount going on in their head. And really, I mean, the one of the ways that I describe it, sometimes when I'm going to sleep, or 4 a.m. when I wake up, and the Greatest Showman song, every night I lie in bed, the brightest colours fill my head, a million dreams are keeping me awake. And that's literally my brain. And it's often very positive things. In the past, it would have been more sort of worrying thoughts. And whereas now I'm like thinking of all the amazing things that I can do, and when I should be sleeping, it should be my downtime. So I need to just sort of calm that. And I have just got a little bit here from, which one was it? So with overwhelm, the NHS symptoms of ADHD describe mood swings, irritability, quick temper, inability to deal with stress, extreme impatience, restlessness and edginess. And these are all things that can come in when we've got all of those thoughts. And there's, where have I got this from? One Bright Mental Health. People with ADHD may experience a constant flow of thoughts, making it difficult to focus on things, which can lead to racing thoughts that are hard to control and interfere with daily life. And then we can have that obsessive worrying and become fixated on our worries. And that can lead to anxiety and stress, and then making it difficult to complete tasks or make decisions. So that does sum it up a lot, really, doesn't it? And I often feel like a computer, your brain's a computer, and you've just got hundreds of these tabs open all the time. And so that can then lead to feelings of overwhelm, wading through treacle, as I said before. And I realised, Kim, actually, about 18 months ago, maybe a couple of years ago, actually, suggested that I track my monthly cycle. And that has been one of the most eye-opening things that I've ever done. And I thought the overwhelm was at certain times in my cycle. And that's when I realised, actually, the overwhelm was pretty much constant throughout the month and throughout my life. And but I would highly recommend, as Kim suggested to me, to ladies who have their monthly cycle, to start writing down, just get yourself a notebook, 1 to 28 or however many days you have, and just key things on that day, write down, like extra anxiety, feelings of overwhelm, feelings of calm, things like that. Sorry, Kim, were you going to
I was just going to say, for those of you who don't bleed, or if you're past those years, or if you're on the pill and you have, you can still
or if you're a man,
if you're a man, yeah, you can still chart your cycle, and you can work with the moon cycle. So the full moon and the new moon and all the bits in between. But perhaps we could do a podcast specifically
absolutely
on that, because it's a good one, isn't it?
Absolutely, yeah. So yeah, we will definitely do a podcast on that. So yeah, in the meantime, start tracking your cycle, and you might sort of see key things coming up for you. And then it's a good way to recognise the times when you are feeling more overwhelmed, and just be kind to yourself at those times, and embrace the times of more energy, and look after the times of low energy, or when you're exhausted or overwhelmed. But one of the big things for me is that really helps with overwhelm and lots of thoughts and everything that goes with that, is starting the day positively. And there's lots of things you can do for that, but I'm just going to give you a little idea of some of the things that I do from when I wake up, because it has such a big impact what you do when you first wake up. So when you wake up, firstly, don't check your phone yet. You don't need to just pick your phone up and start, then if you do that, you've got, the news flashing at you, messages, everything, and you're starting with that stress and that overwhelm. So leave your phone for a minute, maybe have a nice drink of water, and make your bed. Great way to start the day. Perhaps you could set a little intention for yourself as you're making your bed. I'm going to have a good day today, or I'm going to feel positive today, or anything really that you would like to set an intention for. And there's a lady called Mel Robbins who has got a podcast and she does lots of amazing things. So I love listening to her. She's got so much wisdom that she shares, and she talks about her high five habit, if you want to check that out. And me and the kids do that every day, or we try to remember to do it every day. You just look in the mirror and give yourself a high five. There's research that says and probably why they do it more and more in schools now, that of the good feelings that come, and this, that help self-esteem and positivity. So look at yourself, feel great about yourself, give yourself a high five. Come on, you've got up, you made your bed, you've set a good intention, give yourself a high five. And then something else that is great, which I do, is gratitude, and just saying thank you for the things in your life. And even if you don't feel very grateful and life is really tough for you, and it's just, you're not really sort of seeing too many good things, then just think, even if it's just 5 things, thank you for my family or my friends, my home, this nice warm shower I'm about to have, and anything at all really. And lots of people can journal this. I know Kim absolutely loves journaling, and it's also a good way to get other things out of your head and onto paper. So you can write a little gratitude list. But I like to do my gratitude in the shower, because when I used to have a shower, that was the time that I would absolutely drive myself potty with stress, anxiety, worrying thoughts, and they'd often be something that happened 6 months ago when I said that to that person, and they take it the wrong way, and oh my goodness, they haven't messaged, and then you just go on this tangent. Whereas if you'd have just started saying, like I do, just thank you, thanks for my kids, thanks for my husband, and just start doing that, it just instantly puts you in that positive mindset instead of those intrusive thoughts coming in. And I just share this quote from Tony Robinson, that when you're grateful, fear disappears and abundance appears. Fear disappears and abundance appears. Can you see that?
Mm-hmm.
And it's true. You're not having those negative thoughts. You're really just sort of replacing them with some positive ones. And you can go a step further if you like and listen to some nice positive affirmations, which I often do while I'm getting ready. There's some lovely ones from Jason Stevenson and lots of other people as well on YouTube, and I'll pop those in the show notes. And if you can, one of the things that I love doing is a little meditation. And if you can do that at the beginning and end of your day, so you're bookending your day, even if it's just for 5 minutes, that can really help. And for me, when I'm feeling very overwhelmed and irritable and stressed, if I meditate, that just brings me back into the stillness and silence, and it really helps me flow through my day rather than push through it. And what I'll do is I'll record a little simple meditation and pop it on our YouTube channel, and then I'll pop the link in the show notes as well, so that if anyone wants to just do a simple one. But I know there's lots of other ways you can do that. Insight Timer is a wonderful app which is free, and you have access to thousands of meditation teachers from all over the world, and you can literally anything you could think of you can find on there. So that's a lovely one. And I know, Kim, you love just laying in Shavasana, don't you? So that's the yoga pose, just laying on your back, and that's how.
So a lot of the time, my yoga practice is just Shavasana, because I mean, ultimately, that's the place you're kind of it's that sort of place of peace at the end of the practice. I mean, not for everyone. Some people find it very difficult to just lay. But if I can, I will try and do it for 10 minutes every day. And I know I'm there because I'll start to feel as though my body is almost like very subtly vibrating. And it's that place where I'm in between awake and sleep. Does that have a name, that place?
Are you aware that you're in it?
I'm aware that I'm not, well, I think I'm aware. But then the moment a thought comes in, like, oh, I'm here, it's enough to sort of bring you out of it again.
They often call it slipping into the gap with meditation, when but you're not aware when you're there. But afterwards you might think, oh, time's gone by and I've not.
I think I am aware that I think over time I'm able to stay in that place and be aware of it, whereas perhaps before it was I'd find it more tricky to really relax and get into that space.
So really it's just finding what works for you, really. And the more you dip in and out of these things, the more you find, yoga nidra is a lovely one, and again you'll find that on Insight Timer. And it's just it's that bringing you into the present moment awareness.
And I had a meditation teacher at the Cambridge Buddhist Centre, and she always used to say, if we kind of said we're finding it hard to find the time to meditate or create the space, she would just say, just take 3 breaths. So if you just sit down, just take 3 breaths, 3 mindful breaths, and that might be enough to take you where you want to go. And once you've taken those 3 breaths, you might be like, okay, I'm going to carry this on and do a little meditation. And if you don't, you've still taken that time just for those 3 mindful breaths. So that's something I took with me, and I still use years later.
It's like a little reset, isn't it? And then it brings you into a place of we're not reacting to life, we're responding to it then, aren't we? We're not in that reactive mode. And you can have lots of little resets over the day. You can do little mindful breath techniques, mini meditations, a bit of dancing or singing, or just anything, just to bring you into the present moment, have a little reset, re-energize yourself. And go on.
Play with your dog.
Oh, Rocky's back. Is he there, Rocky?
Yeah, he's here.
Hey, Rocks. And so really that was sort of my little tips to help. Like, it's just like a little mini morning routine. Actually, it's not that mini, there's quite a bit there, isn't there? But just a little morning routine. But it's just bringing, you just want to be having that positive start to the day, and it really will help you flow, certainly for me, a lot more into your day. And so Kim, over to you. What's your first life hack?
Rocky just pressed something on the computer. Okay, there we go. Okay, so it's quite simple, really. It's weekly planning, or day planning. So I get so overwhelmed with one, like keeping a tidy house, it's something I've always struggled with. And when I was a kid, my room, it was never tidy. It always looked like a bomb had gone off. And my lovely big sister Nicola would come in every, I don't know, once every few months perhaps, and just blitz it. And I don't know if you did that for me or if it was more for you, Nick.
Maybe a bit of both.
Yeah. But once you'd done it, or on the odd occasions I've managed to tidy it, I would feel so much clearer and so happy. But I just it's not something that I find easy to do. So I started living by a weekly planner, which I put up on my wall. So I just did it on Word. It's a really basic document, and it has Monday to Sunday, about 4 columns, and I have a little thing to do every day, and I never change it, so it stays on the wall. And I'll put a couple of things to do with the house on, and perhaps meditation and a yoga asana practice. And I very rarely stick to it, but I do find just by having it there, I can keep on top of things. So, you know, one week I might do everything on the list, so every day, because I might have a high energy and I'll get everything done. Whereas if it's, you know, for my premenstrual time or I'm bleeding, I might not do anything. But it's always there and I can always come back to it. So I would say at least 2 weeks out of 4, I managed to stick to it. And that means I'm, you know, one day I'm hoovering the stairs, and then one day, say on a Tuesday, I'm cleaning the kitchen, on a Wednesday I'm polishing the surfaces. So it makes all of these things that I find really overwhelming, it makes it manageable. So it cuts it down into little pieces. Yeah, and it's really helped me, really worked for me. I know some people will do a different planner for every week and then color in their sections or give it a tick, but I just know that I'm not that organized to print off a new one every week. And I've also done one for both of my boys, which sometimes they do. If they do all of their jobs in the week, then they get their pocket money at the end of the week. So it gives them incentive. And my incentive is I get a tidy house and a clear mind at the end of the week. I also did one for Nicola. I did one for you and and the boys, and I'm, by Nicola's face, I'm thinking that they haven't stuck to their weekly planners.
Do you know, they're up on the wall? But no, sorry. I mean, Jamie was very enthusiastic about his planner.
Yeah.
But no, we've not really. But that may be something to go back to.
You know what though? It might not be for you. Like that for me is something that really works, but it's not going to work for everyone, is it?
I tell you what does work for me, which again I've not done this yet much, but I know that it's a lot easier when I do, is this sort of planner. I don't know if you can see that, but this is sort of geared up. It's very helpful for people with ADHD actually, and this is really good for me for prioritizing, because sometimes
is that a day planner?
That's what it is.
What's it called? Pomodoro
planner. Unlocking the power of the focused mind, and it's morning journaling, top 3 priorities, secondary tasks, additional tasks, little tick boxes to tick them off, because it's always good, isn't it, to tick when you see you've ticked some jobs off. Gives you motivation, doesn't it? But yeah, when I get round to doing it, again, I'm not consistent with it, but I do get overwhelmed with prioritizing. But I know how good this is for getting everything down in order of priority and then getting it done, and then at least you know you've got the biggies ticked off then, haven't you? And then so yeah, I find that really helpful for me. But thank you very much though for doing those planners.
Oh, you're welcome.
They look
Um,
lovely on the wall.
like, and as for the planner that you just showed me, so that is like it's almost like a diary, isn't it? And I had one of those last year, and I got to the end of it and I haven't replaced it. And I've found that my head is so jumbled since I've not been using one. And it is on my to-do list to buy a new one. But having that, so what I would do is I would sit down on a Sunday night and I would, yeah, write out everything I had to do for the week ahead, everything like in, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And then I would tick as I went along. And I think that is actually why I've been struggling a bit this year, because I haven't had that. So thanks for the reminder.
There we go. Yeah, absolutely. And I do find, yeah, that it's putting them in priority, isn't it? Getting them in order of priority, and getting those important things done first. So, and then yeah, if you find those important things a bit boring, then give yourself a little reward, little treat of some
Yeah.
sort.
And even if you're writing the same thing on every week because you just can't tick it off, it doesn't matter. It's still a visual for you to see, okay, I still haven't done that.
And it's out of your head and on the paper in front of you as well, which is really helpful, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Lovely. Anything else you want to add on that topic?
Nope.
Okay. Right. So, my second and last ADHD life hack, which is to help with forgetfulness, which is a symptom of ADHD. And again, going back to the old NHS symptoms, continually starting new tasks before finishing old ones, poor organisational skills, inability to focus or prioritise, continually losing or misplacing things, forgetfulness. And again, that's sort of a lot of that is going to be helped by the things that Kim's just talked about as well. So again, a lot of these things I've been doing for years and years because my little organised brain, loving, tidying, organising, has naturally done these things because I do lose things, and I like to be organised. So I'm just going to go through a few things that can help with these things. So especially for losing things and for staying organised, you want some little baskets around the house. So a little bedside basket where you can have your little book for reading, medication if it's safe to be left out, with kids around, etc. Inhaler to remind me to take it. I have a second pair of glasses because I got fed up of going to bed at night wanting to read my little book, and the glasses were downstairs. And I know that doesn't seem like a big thing, but actually for me, it was a big thing. So I got a nice second cheap pair of reading glasses because I'm of that age now where I need some reading glasses. And I keep them by my bedside in my little basket. So again, it's all those things. You just want to make life as easy as possible. And if you have these little baskets around the house, you can make them really nice. You can have a nice little special pot or basket that looks lovely. And you want one for your keys, one for your phone, your remotes, and have a home for everything so that where is my thing? Oh, it's in its home. And then you can go and get it and just get in the habit of popping it back there and just make life easy. Have your basket next to your little place where you sit in the evening. Have one next to your bed. And also a calendar on the wall or on your phone, whatever's easiest, is great for forgetful people like me. And I also do rely on Alexa quite a lot for reminders, because I could literally be told something now and think in my brain, I will never forget that. And then Kim could ask me something else and it's gone forever. And I've even had things on the calendar and Alexa reminders and I've still forgotten things. But it's all little things like this that help us. And
Isn't
also,
isn't it funny how even now you would do something and think, this time I'll remember it. Every time you actually believe that this time I'll remember, and then it's gone.
I know, amazing, isn't it?
Sorry,
and it's the same with the kids. You can have little reminders for the kids. I know, Kim, you've done that with your boys, haven't you, to remind them to do little things like hang the towel up, isn't it, and things like that. You had a little post-it, didn't you? I'm sure
What?
sure you did. Yeah, you've obviously forgotten.
Oh yeah, but it never got read. So
well, okay. So obviously in that instance it didn't work. But you know, and what you've got to remember is, you know, if we find this hard, you know, and our kids maybe have similar things going on, and also kids with ADHD are often very much younger emotionally than their actual age, and they may have issues with organisation and focus already. So, you know, give yourself a break, give them a break, but you can put little reminders up, and it's just about being kind to yourself and forgiving yourself for things, you know, and yeah, that's it really. So just, and if I think of any other little things like that, I'll let you know. I'm just looking around now to see if I've done any other little bit, but yeah, you know, sitting at my desk now, I've got all my things in my drawer that I'm going to need, you know, have everything in its little home and it's there when you need it. And that's it. Just make your life simple as you can. Over to you, Kimbo, for your last.
And if you can't do that because you're overwhelmed, give Nicola a call and she'll come and do it for you.
Absolutely. With a smile on my face.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So the second one for me is music, which I find helps with so many things. So even putting a song on first thing in the morning can completely change the way you start the day. So up until recently, I was getting up at 5 a.m. before the kids got up and doing a morning cleaning job, which it was like hell. I mean, I know a lot of people like getting up at 5 a.m. And I think if you were getting up at 5 a.m., perhaps to go and see a sunrise or something, it might be different. But getting up and then slogging your guts out for 2 hours, it wasn't great. But I did find that if I even setting an alarm on my phone, if I put a song on the alarm rather than the usual alarm sound, it would wake me up in a really positive way. And then, you know, doing the cleaning as well, if I've got some good beats on, I'm more productive. Yeah, I don't know if you find that, Nick, but you know, like I could go out for a bike ride and I get so out of breath, always have done with exercise. I'm not one of those people who enjoys exercise, and unless it's like walking or yoga, obviously. But cardio is just not for me. And I could go on a bike ride and be so out of breath and aching, but if I've got my headphones on, I could do double. It's crazy how much exercise, with music, it can help us use our energy so much more efficiently. But the real thing that so right, Rocky is being ever so needy today. I'm just gonna pop him down. It's like he can't get enough of me. Go on, off you go.
Bye, Rox.
The big one for me is
oh, he's back. He's back. He's back.
So there's this thing that happens, and I know other people with ADHD suffer from this as well, where we get so overwhelmed, we've got so many things to do that we end up like sitting or laying on the sofa, and it's like a paralysis. You can't move, and it to me it feels like something is pulling me into the sofa, and the more I lean into it, the harder it is to move.
That is ADHD paralysis, isn't it?
That is ADHD paralysis, and it's a real big topic, because for years one of my best friends thought she was suffering with like chronic depression, and actually it wasn't depression. It was this overwhelm and this paralysis. And yeah, it's mad how similar it can feel to depression.
And again, that that can lead on to feelings of anxiety and feeling very down, can't it? Because you beat yourself up about it afterwards. You're
trying to figure out why do I keep feeling this way? What's wrong with me? And I have found the only thing that gets me out of that state is music. Nothing else has worked for me. But if I put on a tune with a good beat or something uplifting, I'm up and I'm cleaning the house. So yeah, so music, it takes you out of your head, it alters your mood. If you think about when you listen, like when you're watching a film and you're watching a sad bit in a film, you know, it's usually the music that makes you cry, or if it's an uplifting tune, it's, you know, it's the music. So music has such a profound effect on how we feel. So yeah, and when we listen to a song that makes us feel good, we're releasing dopamine, which is the chemical which makes you feel satisfied and good. But the same goes for if you are feeling a bit sad and you recognize that actually it is sadness about something. It's not that you're stuck or overwhelmed, it is sadness about something. You know, that might not necessarily be a good time to put on a happy tune. If you put on a sad tune when you're feeling sad, it can kind of validate your feelings as well. So music is just, I could not live without music. It's amazing. And I just wanted to read something that I found on, what website is it? Harvard Health Publishing. And it says, so music activates just about all of the brain. Music has been shown to activate some of the broadest and most diverse networks of the brain. Of course, music activates the auditory cortex in the temporal lobes close to your ears, but that's just the beginning. The parts of the brain involved in emotion are not only activated during emotional music, they are also synchronized. Music also activates a variety of memory regions. And interestingly, music activates the motor system. In fact, it's been theorized that it is the activation of the brain's motor system that allows us to pick out the beat of the music even before we start tapping our foot. I just found that really interesting. And actually, the whole article is interesting because it talks about a survey that was done about why music is good for the brain. And that was a survey done by AARP. And I'll share that again on the show notes because it's a really interesting article.
Also, you could do playlists, can't you? So you could have an exercise playlist or a biking playlist, and also a favourite. So every time you hear your old favourite song, stick it on your favourites playlist. And then when you're if you need a bit of a pick-me-up, just stick your favourites on shuffle. And just, and I think sometimes as well, you forget, don't you? You forget to put the music on. You know, you're in a slump and you can't. So just maybe stick a little reminder up to play to just music, you know, and just because I know sometimes I just won't put it on, but you just forget for a minute how impactful and how uplifting it can be and how necessary.
And singing as well, you know, if you love to sing, it's a great way of getting out of your head and out of that busy monkey mind. And even if you have been told you can't sing or you don't have a good voice, you know, sing anyway. Anyone can sing, doesn't matter what you sound like. So yeah,
you know what I've got in my head now, don't you? I'm singing. I'm on Zoom with my sister and I'm singing. It's Elf, isn't it?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's stick your tunes on nice and loud, sing along. Yeah, it's very healing music, isn't it, as well? Very healing.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's our little life hacks for today. So thank you very much for joining us. we look forward to our next episode with you. We don't know what we're doing yet, but we'll get on that soon. And we've got so much to share with you. We're so excited about doing these podcasts, and we'll have some lovely guests on as well. And thank you very much for joining us. And anything you'd like to say, Kim, before we go?
No, just that it's been lovely chatting to you, Nicola, as always. And it feels very healing doing this podcast with you.
Yeah, absolutely. God, I've got a nice quote then, as I said I would do, from this lovely book. I'll just show you. Hopefully that'll be on Amazon soon. Another good shopping.
Nicola is just showing, for people who can't see, Nicola's showing a book of quotes that she put together recently and had published. And
so this is by Charlie Mackesy, I hope I pronounced that right, who I believe did that lovely book that you bought me, Kim, which they made into a programme, the mole and with the fox, the mole, the what's it and the what. You know which one I mean, don't you?
Fox, the horse, the fox. No, I never get the right around.
You know the one anyway. Charlie Mackesy.
The boy.
So the boy, it's on my bookshelf.
The boy and the mole.
I'll show you next time.
The fox. No, yeah.
Anyway, the quote is, "What's your best discovery?" asked the mole. "That I am enough as I am," said the boy. And it's a lovely picture of a mole. And it's you are enough, and we're enough. We're all muddling through, aren't we, as best we can, and trying to help each other on the way. And you're brilliant, you're amazing, you're enough, and we've got this. So thank you very much, everyone. And we'll see you next time. Me and Kim have also been discussing a jingle. So we will at some point have a lovely jingle at the start. I'm sure you can imagine how that's going to be. So anyway, and let go for now, and look forward to speaking to you next time. It's bye from me.
Bye.
Bye from her.
I don't.